Greetings to all. Welcome to AWS Solution Architect Associate and Srinivas here. I hope you are able to see my screen and I'm audible enough, right? Could you please? Yes, thank you. Yes, Praveen, just a moment. Who are going to join? If you are not in a position to speak up, you can raise a hand so that I'm in a position to unmute yourself. You can allow to talk. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
So you can raise the hand, and once you are done, you can unraise your hand. Okay. Okay. Come back to the topics. So this is day 2, demonstration 2, day 2, and this is as stated earlier. Okay. First 2 sessions are going to free. Okay. And the next session onwards, whoever registered participants, so they are going to get a separate Zoom link, and the support team is going to provide a time to time updates. So if you are not part of WhatsApp group, okay, so who are going to view these videos on YouTube or anywhere, so you can, if you are not part of this WhatsApp group, okay, you can get that WhatsApp group link as soon as you log into that logiclabstech.com, wherein you can find upcoming batches information. As soon as you click on upcoming batches information, whatever the trainings are delivered by Logic Labs Technologies, everything will be displayed over here. So our batch is, that is AWS Solution Architect batch is come, and batch number 166. You can scroll down and you can find the batch number 166, and you can find the WhatsApp group link, registration link, and payment link. All this information is available. Okay. So at any point of time, if you are not part of the WhatsApp group, please be part of WhatsApp group, and support team is available to provide that information in the chat window. So if you are not part of, what is the importance to be part of WhatsApp community? The support team is going to provide a periodic updates about this post, and at the same time, you are going to get information on latest courses, whatever the latest information about different training modules or upcoming batches are going to start. All that information it is going to share in the WhatsApp community. So for this particular batch, you are going to get, if any session is not available or anything, you are in a position to get that update once you are part of respective session. Yes, Praveen?
Sir, understand, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just a brief about this session. This is a day 2 session. For any queries related to the training module, you can send a mail communication to support@logiclabstech.com. And this first 2 sessions, yesterday 1 session and this is a second session, will be free to attend, and these 2 sessions will be uploaded to YouTube, and that YouTube links also will be uploaded, provided the information in WhatsApp community, so that you can share with your friends, and if anyone is interested, they can join the sessions. Okay. The WhatsApp group information is already pasted in the respective chat window. So admin team is going to provide that WhatsApp group community information in the chat window, and the YouTube description and all those things they are going to provide. And all the session recording sessions are available and uploaded to Graphy site. This is a separate portal apart from the YouTube. So whoever registered participant, they are in a position to access that records and note files for lifetime. Okay. The support team is available from Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you can contact on these numbers. Okay. Let's move on to topics today. What are the topics we are going to discuss? Welcome to session 2. And if we have any technical related queries related to this particular AWS Solution Architect Associate training, you can send a mail communication to my email ID, that is srinivas@logiclabstech.com. So whenever I'm going to get an email communication about your query while sending a mail communication, please loop, whatever the error, whatever the technical project, try to explain in detail. If it's possible, attach the screen capture where you are stuck. Yeah. So, and at the same time, if possible, keep mail communication to support team. So one of us will definitely respond to your query. We'll coordinate with internally and get a response to your query as soon as possible. Yeah. So move on. What is our previous session discussion? Just a recap. We discussed about the course content. What are the course it is going to cover? And then we discussed about how to register. The registration, already I told you to complete the registration. If you at all, if you are not in a position to complete, the document will be uploaded in LMS Graphy site, wherein you will get a complete information, what are the running notes and all those information. As soon as you are going to log in Amazon Management Console, you are in a position to get the screen and complete information is provided, screen capture provided information, what information you need to provide to get that registration activated. Everyone, it is must to register this activate, other than you are not in a position to practice your AWS course content. Whatever the services, it is going to come along with the free trial. You are in a position to practice entire lab, you are going to practice. As soon as the session is done, you are going to review that video and then notes and then do the practice on your own login. Okay, so the registration, I hope everyone is registered. If yeah, did you face any issues while registering the account? Any doubts on this registering account in AWS? Anyone?
No
No,
doubt
sir.
as of
No,
now. No, sir.
I was able to open that account.
Perfect. So it is a mandatory, whoever ready to join this session and whoever ready to learn the topics about AWS Cloud, that is solution architect, they should create an account. It is a mandatory. Okay, it is not just listening and keep it aside. The technology, as soon as you practice, then only you are in a position to get expertise. Okay, please register and do the practice. This is a link document also will be uploaded to that along with the recording sessions. So you can go through this if at all if you have any doubts. Okay, this is the document. Now document is done. We are clear about that registration topic. That is fine, perfectly fine. Okay, that's what yesterday we discussed how to register account and what are the options, Peter explore, and what are the options are available, what we are going to get as part of Peter. That is all information we discussed. Just we entered, log into that management console. That's what we did. What is today's agenda? There are more topics to cover today's agenda. As I said, okay, we are going to deploy a server in, first of all, in AWS. How do we log in? Okay, so let's go ahead and log into that AWS management console and explore first of all. Then we are going to cover the management topics, theory topics. Okay, so how we are going to deploy? Okay, before going to deploy, first we are going to log in this management console. As soon as you registered, you are going to get this management console login screen. You are happy to log in as a root user, whoever the owner. I'm going to come back to that IAM. What is IAM? What it is, when it is going to come, how we are going to use that. Okay. First, as soon as you are individual owner, you are the owner for this particular account. So you can log in directly a root user. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in as root user. That is Srinivas. I created my account and then I'm going to log in the password. Here we go. That AWS, the management portal, management console, whatever the services we discussed yesterday, what are the important services? All those important services will be drilled down as soon as you click on services console, wherein you are going to get a complete list of services which are available under AWS management console. So what we are going to today, as part of this topic, we are going to deploy a system, a server. Okay. So we'll proceed with the deployment first and then discuss about how it is going to reflect in day-to-day operation. Okay. So what I'm going to do, my plan is today to deploy a server in cloud with Windows 2022. Let's have deployment. Okay, what for that? I need to go to click on services. I need to go to EC2, click on EC2. As soon as I'm going to click on EC2, it is going to redirect, give me a dashboard. Whatever the dashboard you are able to see here, this is a EC2 dashboard. Currently, how many instances are available here? See here. I told you that system, sometimes I'm calling as a server, sometimes I'm going to a Windows server, whatever it may be. Now, these terminologies are common for us. Now, the new terminology is coming up, that is instances. Instance. What is this instance? Instance is nothing but it is a terminology to call the same system, the same server, what you call in day-to-day operations. Okay, the name convention is different. EC2, under EC2, we are going to do what is EC2? Okay, it is a instance deployment, the console, elastic compute. Okay, elastic compute. What it is? It is going to deploy a system. What system you can deploy? Under this management console, you are in a position to deploy whatever consent, what we can do. See here, under dashboard, currently, if I see the management console interface, first what I did, I click on this particular services, and then as soon as I click on services, what I received, I got an update information, click on services, there is a direct EC2 is not available. EC2 is part of under compute. Okay, so I click on compute. Under compute, I selected EC2. Okay, so as soon as I click on EC2, I am going to land to the dashboard, that is EC2 dashboard. How do I deploy a server? We know that as per pre-tier requirement, I am in a position to practice 750 hours per month. So I can log in, I need to prepare, I need to do some actions on my server. Here I am going to say that instance. The name convention slightly different, that's it. But what we are going to do, it is a system. What is a server? Why I'm going to call it as server? I'm going to plan to install a Windows 2022. What is this Windows 22? It is a server operating system. That's the reason the same system I'm calling as a server. Okay, but basically what is this instance? It is a system, it is a calling as a server or a guest machine, whatever way you are going to call it as, it is reflecting a server. Okay, so let's go ahead and deploy an instance. How you are going to deploy? Here, see here, there is an option, launch instance. Here, launch instance. To get started, launch an Amazon EC2 instance. EC2 instance is nothing but a system. I'm going to deploy a system. What system? Is it a desktop? Is it a server? We are going to see that. Okay, I'm going to clear this drawing and then launch instance. As soon as I click on launch instance, it is going to give a couple of options. It is going to give a couple of options. What is the options? Here, number of instances, number of systems, number of servers. When I say number of servers, what it is going to give? First of all, I'm going to mention what is. First, I'm going to give a try one system. Okay. And what I'm going to name it? What is the name? I'm going to mention batch 166. Okay. My batch number I mentioned here. So what instance? I'm going to create a server. I told you that I'm going to create a server. There are multiple options are available in this list. Amazon Linux is available, Mac OS is available, Ubuntu is there, Windows is there, Red Hat, whatever the operating system. Okay. So I'm going to as per my plan, I'm going to deploy Windows 2022. That is a server. That's the reason the same. I'm going to instance server instance. Server instance in the sense I am going to select Windows. Under this Windows, I am going to choose, I selected Windows. As soon as I selected Windows, I'm going to drop down. See what are the options are available here. See Microsoft Windows Server 2022 base. Different options are available. What are the options? All 20. So, yes,
Sir,
please. Yes, please.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the Linux operating system. So can I select here as a Amazon Linux when I will go for this?
Yes, yes. See,
Okay.
that's what I'm going to say that. For example, this cloud platform is designed to support any kind of IT infrastructure, any kind of admin. You are maybe Linux admin, I am maybe Windows admin, or some other maybe database admin. Whatever the role they are looking for, they are in a tower, they need to practice respective. Okay.
Okay, sir.
As soon as I'm going to showcase how to deploy a system. You can choose Amazon Linux and you have to choose respective Linux. Or Red Hat. If you have Red Hat practice, you can choose Red Hat versions. What are the versions are there? So I'm just explaining how we are going to see, how we are going to deploy, how easy to deploy a server. Okay, I'm going to come to theory part. Just I'm going to deploy a system from this particular EC2 console. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay. So if you see what are the versions are available, only thing what you need to do is it a free tier availability. What are the operating system you are going to select? You need to make sure that is free tier eligible. That is a must. Okay, what are the option you are going to select? Make sure it is a free tier eligible, then only you can deploy. If you select other operating system, as soon as you drop down, you are going to get a list of complete list. If I see here, I'm going to drop down where it is free tier is eligible until this particular operating free tier is available. From this, the free tier option is not available. If we select without checking this free tier eligibility, whatever the credit card information you entered, and whatever the debit card enter you entered, it is going to prompt a billing information. Whatever the billing, see here, it is billing information is also available for each and every server. What is the bill? What is the per hour basis information? And all those information, it is clearly available for each and every service. So as we are going to practice for any service, whatever the option you are going to choose, before choosing, you need to choose the free tier eligible option is there or not. I'm going to select this. I already selected, then it is see here. This is important option. You need to choose, make sure this is there in this deployment. Whatever the operating system you are going to choose, you can practice. Okay, you are going to choose free tier eligibility. Okay, then you are going to clear. Yes. Now, see here, what is this? Whatever the instance you selected, that is free tier eligibility, what is the configuration? See here, T2.micro. What is T2 micro? It is configuration. The configuration name they mentioned that about this T2, the configuration. What is the configuration? For every system, what I said, 5 components will be there. Motherboard, proc, memory, storage, network. Without these systems, I cannot call it as one system, right? So the same configuration, what is the processor configuration in this particular console? What is the configuration? 1 vCPU, 1 gig memory, that is RAM, and what is the charges if it is more than that after FTIR, after FTIR, after FTIR. Currently FTIR, what is the limitation? 750 hours per month. Okay, I'm going to showcase once this practice is done what we are going to do. See here, this is the information. See here, free tier. All your first year includes 750 hours of T2 instance use for free tier. Okay, per month. This is see here per month. What is the capacity storage? Now the CPU is there. CPU mentioned, memory is mentioned. Now what is the storage? What is a network? See, everything options are available. I'm going to come to that one by one. Now, first one is the server is selected. What is the T2 micro? It is just a name. I'm going to choose a system configuration for that particular feature. I selected the operating system where I'm going to install that operating system. Okay, this is the information. Now, next is what is a key pair? Key pair, that means as soon as you deploy an operating system or installing a desktop operating system, what you are going to do, the first thing is that you are going to set the password. What is the password is required to log into that particular server. Here in this cloud environment, it is going to come how to secure, how to provide security. They are going to provide a key pair. With this key pair, we are going to generate as part of this instance, whatever the instance you are going to create, you are in a position to create a key pair. I'm going to select a create a new key pair because I don't have this is my first time. So I'm going to create a new key pair. As soon as I click on key pair, I can mention any name. This file, it is going to download to your system. How we are going to use in later stages, we are going to see. First, what we are going to do, we are going to give a name. Okay, so this key pair by default, it comes with PEM extension. Whatever the file name you are going, whatever the name you are going to mention, just I'm going to mention batch 166 key. Batch 166 key I'm going to mention, and I'm going to mention clear generate key pair. See here, create a key pair. So if you are experienced in PuTTY, combination, you can select PPK file that is for use with PuTTY configuration. Okay, for OpenSSH, it is a PEM file. Whatever the key pair you are going to select, what operating system you are going to select, based on that, you need to choose. Okay, now I selected as a PEM file. I'm going to create a key pair. It is just going to download, that's it. Where it is downloaded, wherever it is downloaded, I'm going to save this file. I'm going to save this file. See here, opening the location, file location, where is my key pair? This is my key pair. I'm going to cut this and I'm going to create somewhere. In the folder, you can create a folder, whatever the folder you are going to use, you can create. That's 166 AWS. And I'm going to paste this file. That's it. Okay, I selected this file name. What are the file name? It is a key pair. What it is key pair, when it is going to use, we are going to see that. So key pair got generated. First, what is selected? We selected Microsoft Windows. Someone you can select Windows or Linux, whatever the instance you are going to create, go and select. Okay, so key pair is selected. Now network settings. In network settings, what is this security group? Create a security group. What is the security group? I'm going to cover this security group concept in next slide, and I'm going to explain what is network and what is this create a security group. Okay. Yes, please.
Sir, there has mentioned key pair type. So there is two two tabs.
PPK and PEM.
No. Above that, you select one.
Okay, create new pair. Yes, please.
Yeah. So there is RSA and in front of that ED25519. So any difference in between that?
Yes, generally it is a security standard which you are going to provide how we are going to generate the key pair. It is a RSA is one of the key security feature which is going to come along with PEM and PPK. As part of pre-test, this encryption is not available. RSA itself one kind of security feature where you are going to get some kind of file configuration with some data within that key pair to get the login credential information. The second one is encrypted, further more secure. Okay, this encryption is going to be available. We are going to discuss about what is encryption and theory part. This encryption is going to provide a more secure whoever registered for above pre-tier. For them, it is going to get an option. Okay, it doesn't
Yes.
matter. For pre-tier option, it is more useful to understand the concept. This is more than enough. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yes, Anita, please. You raise the hand. Anita?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Can we put, do we have to put any numbers and like that? Is just any name we can put it? Enter keypad name.
Yes, yes. Any name.
Mhm.
If the complete numbers are fine, just a naming to understand what purpose we are going to create this pair. So easy to understand to log into the respective server. For example, I'm going to deploy Windows system. For that Windows system, I'm going to create a key pair that whatever the password it is going to get, that password we can use to log into that server. It's a just naming representation to understand. That's it. I'm going to showcase where it is going to useful. Yeah.
And also, can we use two names like that? Say two
Yes,
times.
yes.
Okay, okay. How
For
many
example,
times you?
yeah, the basic confusion here, I mentioned this tag as a batch 166 here, and the same name again, I mentioned batch 166T. Just a naming, that's what I can mention Srinu there, here, I can mention different name. It doesn't matter. Whatever the names you are going to mention, it is going to display in your instances. I'm going to come back to that instance where we are going to see that information. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts? Okay. Okay. So once a keeper, the security, what is a security group? Security group here in this AWS console, the security group talks about application ports. Application ports. What is this application ports? As we are going to deploy a Windows system, how we are going to connect that Windows system? How we are going to connect that Windows system? By using remote tool. What is that remote tool? It is the RDP, remote desktop protocol. Okay, what is this RDP? RDP is going to work on application port. That port number, it is going to mention that the same. It is going to come here in this security group under network settings. The security group, what it is going to see? Allow RDP traffic from anywhere. Okay, we are going to see what is this in network concepts under security and what is the security. Here, create a security by default. As soon as we are going to deploy, it is first time instance. It is a first time. Second time instance onwards, you can use the same key pair, same security group if you are going to deploy second Windows server. Okay. For example, Linux server, if you who are deploying Linux server, how you are going to connect a Linux server remote terminal? Linux server remote terminal, how you are going to connect? Anyone? What is the port it should be open?
8080.
SSH port number. Terminal
422.
SSH. Sorry?
422. 22.
Exactly. Thank you. So like that, it is going to use that security group. What is this security group? Security group is nothing but application ports. Okay. So that is a security group. It is going to mention create a by default. It is going to create a security group. If I have existing security group, that means if I'm planning to deploy a second instance onwards, already I'm going to create one security group. So second instance onwards, I can use the existing security group. That means whatever the firewall rule I'm going to create, that firewall rule is applicable for this particular thing. What is this firewall rule? All those things I'm going to come back. No worries. Just I'm going to try to how easily we can deploy an instance. Okay, just follow this so that you are in a position to understand very easily. Okay, next, storage. What are the things we covered? Under these 5 components, processor is 1 CPU. What is the processor capacity? 1 CPU. What is the memory capacity? 1 GB. Right? What is the storage? Storage is 30 GB. Whatever the requirement to fulfill the network is already assigned IP. Okay. So what it is going to deploy? 30 GB space it is going to deploy. This is for free tier limitation. Just you are going to create a storage and then continue further installation. That's it. Whatever the configuration we already selected, it is already done. Yeah. So this is a just what I did, just provided names. That's it. I selected Windows and then provided the name. That's it. Only two things, nothing else. I'm going to create launch instance here. As soon as I completed this particular deployment, as soon as I'm going to select with a free tier, whatever the operating system, okay, I'm going to click launch instance. Whoever looking for Linux operating system, by default, as soon as you select a Linux operating system, the security group is going to create, it is not going to show RDP, it is going to show SSH. Okay, this particular allow RDP traffic from is there, right? It is going to state that SSH because it is necessary to connect that particular server, particular system remotely. How we are going to connect remotely? What are the things we are going to see? We are going to see. Even today I deployed Windows system. Tomorrow I'm going to deploy a Linux system. And then what is this? For each and every instance, we are going to do practice as per this lab. And you should be in a position to create any kind of instance. It is not only limited to one particular instance. If you are going to work on Windows administration, mostly you are going to work on Wintel servers. So you are going to do what is the security group is available and all those things. Okay, clear? So I'm going to click on launch instance. Just I created two names. One is key pair, another one is instance name. That's it. Nothing else I mentioned anything else, right? So I'm going to click on launch instance. That's it. Instance successfully initiated launch of instance. I'm going to go back to this particular EC2 dashboard. Currently see here, what is the instances? 0. What is the values? 0. What is a key pair? Secure key pairs? 0. So as soon as this instance is deployed, the same thing is going to reflect whatever the information we created just now. Just a moment. Yes. I'm going to close these drawings, clear, close, and refresh this particular window. See here, previously it is 0. Now instant is 1. Volume, what is the volume? The whatever the 30 GB disk we created, that is considered here. Whatever the key pair we created, the key pair is going to come over here. The security group previously is 1, now it is a 2. What is the security group previously 1? As soon as you create a Amazon Management Console registration, it is going to provide authorization. You need to understand what is authorization, what is authentication. Can anyone describe authentication versus authorization? Can anyone? What is the difference between authentication versus authorization? Can anyone? You can.
So password protection.
Okay. Okay. What is the password protection? How it is going to come under authentication or authorization?
Password protection is authentication, and when we will put the username and login, and it will go to authorization.
Okay, good, good. Okay, anyone else? If anyone not able to speak up, please raise hand. Allow you to speak up. Just I need to allow to talk. I did already.
Authorization is more about what a user can do. Authentication is all about validating the user. Authorization is more about once validation is done, the user is allowed in what the user can do, what permission level he has, what kind of access he has.
Exactly. Thanks, Hari. Yes. Authentication, it is just like the office building is there, you have a card. You are in a position to enter into that main gate by showing that your ID card. But as soon as you are going to enter the floor, you need to swipe the card. You need to swipe the card in the sense you should be authorized to enter into that floor. That is authorization. Authentication is identification that you are employed. Authorization is providing a certain level of permission to do some activity. So comes over to here in the dashboard. That's where the security group, okay, the security group here, initially it was 1, now it is a 2. What is this security group it is going to do? The first security group, as soon as you registered, you are in a position to log in and you are in a position to create a instance, that is authorization. That initial security group has that permission for this particular My Srinivas AWS account. It is that particular authorization. Now, second security group, what it is created? It is created security group, some further permission. What it is going to, we are going to see. So I'm going to click on this instance. See here, the instance is ready. I'm going to select how you are going to connect. Whatever the instance is there, I'm going to access. See here, complete information. Okay. So I'm going to open. I'm going to open. So remote desktop, as soon as if you don't have, you are not having any idea, remote desktop is a tool, RDP, MSSTSC, Microsoft Terminal Service Client, okay, or RDP we call it as remote desktop protocol. Okay, by using this, you are in a position to Windows Server connect remotely. What is this remotely? For example, I am in front of my laptop. I'm in a position to connect. I'm in a position to see the screen. If I'm not in front of my laptop, I can connect this laptop remotely. Okay, that is remote tool. How you are going to access. Servers will be located somewhere else. How we are going to connect remotely. That's what we are going to use a tool called RDP. Okay, so go to start button in your screen and RDP or MSTC. You can do whatever you want. Remote desktop connection. See what information I need to mention here. Whatever the console information, see here, this is the IP address. You just copy this information, public IP information, whatever the information, I copied this public information. I'm going to place this information in my remote desktop connection. Click on connect. Now I need to enter the credentials. What credentials I need to enter? Where to get the credentials? Okay, what is my user ID to log into this instance? Come back to this instance. From here, I copied this IP address. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to paste here. Even you can try this IP from your system, from your laptop. If you have laptop, open this RDP and then try to enter this IP. Okay, this is IP information. What else I'm going to get the information? Okay, I'm going to mention DNS. See here, we are going to understand there are different terminologies available. Private IP address, public IP address, private IP DNS, public IP DNS. We are going to understand these concepts. Okay, that is going to cover in theory. No need to worry about. If you have any doubt, you can ask and clarify. Don't listen simply. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this. Either I can connect this particular remote desktop connection to this IP address or else through this DNS. This is called, if you are going to call it as FQDN, fully qualified domain name. I'm going to enter the same thing. I'm going to open one more window. I'm going, instead of IP address, I'm going to mention the name. Will I able to connect? Able to connect. So IP, I'm able to connect. I'm able to connect with the name as well. So I'm going to copy both the things here. Now, for both the things, I need to enter the username and password. Where I'm going to get that username and password? See here in the same instance, where did I get? On the instance dashboard, where EC2 dashboard, click on instance. Under instance, I selected this instance type. and click on this instance, collected this public IP information and public DNS information. Where is the username? The username is available under security. Sorry, just a moment. See here, key pair, what is the administrator password and all those information is available. You are going to position in a position to mention default username and password. What is the how to generate the password? Okay, the key pair, whatever the key pair we mentioned, see here, key pair information it is mentioned here. By using this key pair, you are in a position to launch. How to get that password? Okay, we need to get the password. Key pair is available, but how do we get that password? Okay, so we are going to get that password by using this key pair. How to get that password? We are going to see in this particular instance page itself. Okay, first what we collected, IP address is copied, and then public DNS address information is copied. Then we are going to get that information to get that password generated. Okay, so how we are going to get? So we need to connect this. To connect this, click on what are the information till now we collected? This information and this public DNS information. These two things I copied to the notepad, right? Now I'm going to click on connect here. As soon as you click on connect, it is going to prompt different options. I can connect using session manager. Where did I click? I'm going to go back again for better understanding. It is so simple. Be with me. If you get any confusion, let me know. Okay. I'm into EC2 dashboard. See, services, compute, EC2. Under EC2 dashboard, instances. Once instance is created, I'm able to click on instances. Whatever the instances are created, it is going to give the name. I can modify the name at any later stage, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to click on this instance to get the details. Without getting click on instant, I'm not in a position to get the details. I'm going to get the IP information, FQDN information, and then I'm going to click on connect here. As soon as I'm going to click on connect here, what is the way you are going to connect? It is a Windows server. That's the reason it is going to say RDP client. Okay, here we are going to mention get the password. What is the username first? I'm going to get the username mentioning here, administrator. Okay, and then where is the password? How to get the password? See here, get password. Where is the password? Administrator is available. Username is available. Where is the password? Password is not displayed here. Get the password. How to get the password? To get the password, I just click on get the password place. As soon as I click on here, it is going to ask upload the key pair. We created a key pair, right? Where did we save? We saved the key pair in our created a folder and then saved that file key pair. This particular key pair I need to upload to get the password. Just see here, just upload their key pair. So whatever the file it is there, where did I keep? Under this bash AWS key pair. That's it. Decrypt the password. See here, as soon as upload the key pair, what I did, so simple, don't get confused. It is so easy. This is security to get the password. The server is deployed. I need to get the password to log into the server. Once you understand the concept, within 5 minutes, you are going to complete second instant. Only one instant you created and job is done. No, you need to create multiple instances. So your mouse pointer is going to move quickly. Yes, please. Someone raise the hand. Okay. So I'm going to click on, as soon as key pair is uploaded, what I'm going to do, I'm going to decrypt the password. As soon as I click on decrypt the password, I'm going to get the password. Where I'm going to get the password? See here, just copy here. Just click on this icon. No need to type anything. Just click on this file, copy, and I'm going to paste here. This is my password. Okay. We can change the password. You can log in the password. I'm going to showcase that. So first thing is that I'm going to use this administrator and log into this. See, administrator. I'm going to copy this password. Password, yes, click on OK. That's it. You are able to connect this my cloud 2022 Windows Server successfully. I'm going to create a username. I'm going to create a password, username and password. You are in a position to log in. I'm going to provide, just note down this IP information or this information. I'm going to paste this both information in chart window. Keep it handy. Just open your remote desktop client. I'm going to create a username. With that username, you are in a position to connect this particular server from your system. Just let it open. Is it easy or is it any difficulty? Are you able to understand? Are you able to follow me? Any doubts launching this? Server manager. I'm going to create a user and you can log into this server, whatever the server we deployed just now. To computer management. I'm going to create a user for you to give. It is very difficult to log in. Use the same. You can use the same username and password, but the session will be switch over from myself to you. Okay. So I'm going to create a new user and you can connect from your system to the same RDP session. How easy you are able to connect my system. Okay. That is beauty of cloud. I'm going to create a new user, batch 166. User 1, welcome at the rate 1. Batch 166 is the username. I'm going to paste in the chart window. Thank you, Venkat. So batch, this is username. I created the password. Password is set to welcome at the rate 123. Don't try now. I need to set one more setting. Then only you are in a position to connect. Just a moment. Create. Once it is created, I'm going to provide permission to log into this particular server. I'm going to add to admins group batch 166 user 1. That's it. As a Windows administrator, this process everyone knows that. Okay. Now, can anyone try to connect open RDP and try to access this server provided information, the password batch 166 and this information?
Spoony.
Who is trying?
Yeah, I'm able to log in.
See here. Now, in this particular scene, you can see that I deployed this server in my management console. I'm able to connect, that is with administrator, and who are created next session, they create login, able to log in. As default, this Windows server can allow 2 sessions, only 2 sessions can be connected. Can anyone try? It is going to disconnect, administrator disconnects from my session and they are in a position to open. For administrator password, this is a lengthy password they need to enter, copy paste and then give a try. So how easy it is deployment. So this password you can try with administrator account. Okay. Where is the chart window? My session will disconnect. You can copy paste and give a try with administrator username and password. Try to log in, my session will disconnect from here. Can anyone try others? So it is so simple that the deploying a server, deploying any instance in the cloud, it is so simple, and you can do practice, and whatever the admin task you are going to perform, you are going to do all the things. Okay. Hope it is clear. Now I am going to close this. This is a EC2 instance deployment in the management console. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain some theory topics about what is what exactly. Okay. So we know that what is a client versus server? What is a client versus server? We already discussed whoever. In this diagram, I'm going to open the diagram wherein I'm going to showcase some diagram information. Okay. Any doubts on this EC2 instance creation? No. A PC system is there. I'm going to use two systems only. One desktop is there, one laptop is there. Now you can say that both are desktops for my understanding. Now some data is required. It is Srinu. This is Vasu. Okay. Some file is there on Srinu system, and that file required by Vasu. That in this scenario, who is the client, who is the server? Some file is there on Srinu system and it required by Vasu. In this scenario, who is the server, who is the client? Whoever providing the information, that is become as a server, because Srinu has a file and sharing that information to the Vasu. That means the information, it doesn't matter it is a desktop system or a server system or whoever it may be. The client versus server definition, it is going to work who is giving information to others. Whoever providing the information, that becomes as a server function, and whoever receiving the information, that becomes as a client. This client and server information is very important to understand how the data is going to flow. Okay. Okay, going back. I'm going to delete this. Okay. Now, next point. Now we deployed a system in cloud environment. If I want to deploy a system in real-time environment, what are the requirements? Now we are going to understand what is the easiest, what is the benefit of a cloud. Okay. So for example, I need to deploy a same Windows Server 2022. Same Windows Server operating system 2022. Someone is going to use Linux system. What is required? To load an operating system, I need to require a system, right? Procure a system. It may be server's operating system, a file system, desktop system, whatever it may be. I need a system to load an operating system. What else I need? What else I need? A system is ready. Laptop, PC or server, I'm going to choose the server. System is ready. And the monitor is ready. I connected both the systems and that is fine. I'm ready to load operating system. System monitor is there, system is there. I'm going to load an operating system. What else is required? I need an image, right? What are the OS? I decided to 20 server 2022. That means I need to download ISO image, right? Where to download? I need to connect Microsoft site to download, isn't it? Once it is downloaded, how much time it is going to take? I need to download the image. For example, it is going to take maybe 15 minutes. Least time I'm going to mention 15 minutes. Then once the ISO image downloaded, I need to put that into the system to load operating system. Loading operating system, how much time it is going to take? Loading OS, how much time it is going to take? Maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes, doesn't matter. 15 least time I'm going to mention. Then once loading operating system is done, then I need to configure OS. Configure OS in the sense assigning IP information and all those things. IP is configured. Then how I'm going to connect a system from a particular remote desktop? The server is deployed. The server is deployed. This is server. Monitor is there, no problem. Now I'm using my laptop. I'm using laptop. I need to access this particular system. What are the things are required? I'm in front of the system. I'm in front of doing all the things. I need to do remote terminal. What is the required now for me? I need a communication, right? What communication I need required? I need to put a, what I need to put there to establish communication? A switch is required, right? It is going to connect this cable to this particular switch, and then the same line cable, it is going to connect this particular system to system, right? Then I'm in a position to connect this particular system remotely. Now in this cloud infrastructure, what I did, I just connected the simply. How much time it is completed? Within simple steps, I completed the deployment of server within 2 minutes, isn't it? I created an instance on this particular cloud environment. Did I provided a router? Did I provided a network switch? Did I provided any network switch for to connect this and two instance? No network. Did I provide any storage? No storage. Did I downloaded any ISO image? Did I configure ISOS? No information. Everything is predefined. Okay. That means, for example, if I need to deploy a system in this particular session, in this particular system, I need to procure the system and I need to download the ISO image. For to download the ISO image, it is okay. After licensing period expired, I need to purchase the license, procuring the server to install the OS, and to after installation of OS, I need to purchase the license to pay that license fee. Then only I can configure, I can use for next time. Okay. And then I need to have a network component to establish communication to this particular system. Then I am going to access the same system. I can configure the same system. What are the steps I did for the simple one system itself? How much time I spent here? Okay, I need to buy a hardware. I need to procure that ISO image. I need to load ISO image installation configuration. To configure, who is required? An administrator is required. To deploy this particular server, an administrator is required. To place this server, to connect the cables and all those things. For all these connections, to place this server, I need a space. Without space, I cannot place the server. And for this particular server, I need a AC, power consumption, a space where it is located and all those things, right? So all these things, it is going to get an upfront cost. That means lakhs of rupees I need to spend. Server itself 1 lakh rupee, for example, and network device 1 lakh or 50,000, whatever it may be. For a single server and single network device to connect together, I need to spend this much. It is not only simple connect, and I'm not in a position as a business person, as a company, I'm not in a position to configure all these things. To do all these things, a personal staff, technical staff is required. Okay, so this is all things are going to create upfront cost, isn't it? So in cloud, what I did, simply I created a server in fraction of minutes. Did I invested anything here? I didn't invest anything. Just it is going to use as pay as you go. That is the important concept, a cloud concept. How did I deploy in cloud environment? How it is difficult to deploy in traditional IT. Okay, so hope it is clear what is difference between, that's what I mentioned in this agenda. Basic requirements to deploy a server in
So
traditional
Srini,
process.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, how about the Windows license for this EC2 instance? Is it a part of your EC2 costing itself?
Exactly. That is what the cloud. We are going to discuss about the cloud. You are no need to bother about whatever the service you are looking for. Only for that particular service you are paying. Hardware cost, licensing cost, and whatever the details. Storage, no need to look for storage, no need to look for anything. You just plug in and then you are going to proceed. Any doubt?
Yeah, no, for this free tier, we are free to see, because for free tier we are selecting a particular model of your micro T1 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So with that, if I use any operating system, is it free, or will there be any cost for that?
See, that's what yesterday we discussed about free tier, right? Whatever the instance, as soon as you come here, launch instance, whatever the free tier symbol is there, free tier description is there. For example, Amazon Linux I selected. See here, only thing is you need to note it down here, free tier. Okay. Generally, for example, in Windows or operating system, activation is going to available for only 30 days. After 30 days, keep on constantly activate your Windows, activate your Windows. Okay. Some services you are not in a position to configure. Whatever the server you are going to deploy by using any kind of operating system here, as soon as you choose this free tier option, that means it is a free. No need to bother about hardware, no need to bother about a license, no need to bother about any other thing. Even network configuration also. For example, in real-time environment, you need to make sure the server network communication and all those things, right? Is it clear? Any doubt?
Yep.
Yes, Anita, you are speaking something?
Yes, sir. Yeah, my internet is not good last 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got disconnected and I connected again. Now it's okay.
Okay. Any doubt question, technical question?
No, last 10 minutes I was disconnected. I couldn't able to hear you.
No problem. These sessions are
Yeah.
recorded and the sessions will be published in YouTube. And these two sessions are free to attend. You can review at any moment by going. Are you part of WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are going to get the information, link information for day one recording already received, right?
I didn't check.
Yes, sir. Sir, and will you update your notes also over there, or how we will get that?
Notes information is available for this registered participants. It will be available on the Graphy site, and that link will be provided by support team to access that. Okay. These
Okay.
two sessions recorded information will be uploaded to YouTube for review and understand the concept, how the delivery module is going on, and is suitable for my understanding of whatever the technical capabilities we are looking for, expectations or anything else. Yeah.
Okay, so from next week, that notes will be available on the Graphy, right?
Yeah,
And
you already participated, paid the members. It is already after this session. Generally, what we are going to do, right after the sessions, we are going to send this notes file. Whatever the files I prepared here, those note files will be provided to support team. Support team will upload along with the record to the Graphy portal, wherein you can play the video. Not in a position to download. Okay, you can play the video, and note files you can download. Okay, and you
Yeah.
can practice by looking at the notes information.
Okay, sir, and one more request.
Yes.
Please just let us know that how we will get that access for Graphy and where we will can get that, so it will beneficial for us.
Definitely, the support team is going to provide the mail communication to you, as you already part of our paid member. So you are going to get a complete information how to
Okay.
access the Graphy. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. As soon as you log into the logiclabstechnologies.com, wherein you can find your registered courses details. Dashboard, under dashboard, you can find that information, registered courses information. Okay. You can
Yes, sir.
contact, if you are not able to find that information, you can coordinate with the mail ID, the support at mail ID is there, right? Support at Logic Labs Technology. They can assist you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir.
So it is clear that that instance how it is easy to deploy compared to the live environment, traditional IT environment. That says that industry is booming about cloud. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to hope you understand how easy to access the cloud, what is advantages. I'm going to cover little theory to understand better. So much. I'm going to cover the basics. If you understand the basics, it is easy to follow where we are going to, how we are going to, why we are going to do that. That is important. Okay, you are going to hear what I need to do here and all those things. It is very difficult to understand. So that's the reason I'm going to explain the practical, and then how, what are the things are going to come under for the particular service, what are the things we need to understand. Okay, till now I didn't discuss about what is AWS, what is a cloud, and all those things. First we need to understand. So that's the reason I kept the T part aside, and I'm going to discuss now. Hope it is clear what is the differences between traditional IT deployment, traditional server deployment in real time, that is a physical environment, and traditional IT process, whereas in same server, how quickly we can deploy without any pre-requirements. And no need to check the server, no need to check for ISO image, no need to check for downloading the image, no need to configure the installation. Everything it is going to complete within fraction of minutes. For example, 10 servers. If I need to deploy 10 servers, see here, instead of one, I'm going to mention 100. That's it. It is going to deploy 100 servers with random name. That's a beauty of this. But it is again depends upon this cost, sizing, cost, and all those things. The cloud environment is why it is so booming, is because it is a rapid deployment and pay as you go service, and we are going to discuss all those concepts in theory. Okay, clear? The same, forget about 1,000. 10 servers you need to deploy, in the sense 10 servers, how you are going to procure, how you are going to install, how you are going to configure, how much time it is going to take to configure those 10 servers, all those things it is going to matter. In cloud, it is a fraction of minutes. All the servers will be up and running. Just you need to get the details and connect. Right? Okay. Let's move on the theory part. Okay. We covered this basic deployment. We deployed the server, connect EC2. We connected to that particular EC2 server. What is a key pair? Key pair is nothing but it is a password. How the secure password. Okay. How to get that key pair? What is the importance of key pair? Okay. As soon as the server is deployed, we are going to generate the key pair. That key pair has this encrypted manner that will be decrypted as soon as whoever connecting to. I deployed a server in the client cloud location. I'm connecting from outside. Whoever having that key pair, then only that particular person only can connect to that server. Okay. As I shared that information over the chat window, you are in a position to connect. If you don't have key pair, you are not in a position to get the password. That's the beauty of this security. Okay. Now, that's what we understood how to generate the password. We already discussed. Now, the topic is what is internet versus intranet? Can anyone? What is internet? Intranet.
Internet is global and internet is local. This is Venkatakrishna.
Thanks, Venkat. Yeah, that's perfect. Internet, it is whatever the web page. For example, you are accessing google.com. As soon as you have the internet connection, that is, internet connection is there, then only you are able to access the google.com. If the page is there, some information is there, you are able to copy file. That file is accessible only in a local network. That is intranet. You develop a web page, that web page information within a 10 systems, you are able to open, you connected deployed systems in such a way that I'm going to put a diagram here. Okay. And yes, remove. Okay. Just I'm going to take this time, just a moment. Okay. This already diagram is there. I'm going to use this diagram for understanding. So it is easy. Okay. Now, a web server is there. Okay. This is a typical IT deployment, which how it is going to connect. A web server is there. This web server having the information of some site information, some web page information. If this web server information, if you are able to access within the local area network, if you are able to access within this systems, within this boundary, that website information, that is intranet. If the same web server information, whatever the web page you are going to create, that web page information is accessible by outside, either any system from outside, by using internet, that is internet. The server, the web server web page is going to accessible over the internet, that is internet. And if they access the same web page within this local network, they're only able to access, that is intranet. Okay, any doubt on this? So this is the first concept what we need to understand, internet versus internet. The second thing is that everyone using public versus private. What is public versus private? Now we are going to say that public, that is private. What is this public versus private? Can anyone? What
For
is public?
public, everyone can access the thing, but for private, there is some authentication.
Public, the traffic need to access via internet. Private is within the secured environment, within the premises.
Exactly. Exactly. Thanks for both of you. So simple layman understanding. A park is there. That park is accessible by public. Anyone can enter and anyone can do, right? Private property, you have a property wherein you have a gate and you have a lock, and then that property is accessible only whoever authorized, right? So similar way, network communication, how the network is going to design. Okay, you have a mobile device and you are having an application, that phone pay application, or you are going to access the IRCTC website, whatever it may be. Will you able to access without internet connection? Will you able to access without internet connection? Okay. So what is this public and versus private? Public is nothing but it is accessible from anywhere, from any place. How it is possible? So whatever the information they are going to develop, okay, whatever the information, any application, anything, the application is working from anywhere, from any place, means that application is going to accessible over public network. What is a public network? What is a private network? We need to understand this private network. Okay. Private network is nothing but for every network communication is going to happen. What is the communication is happening? In this particular diagram, the communication is happening between the web server to DB server. What is this communication? I can say this is a private communication. What is the, how this communication is going to establish? The both systems, web server is going to have a IP card, network IP information, and DB server is going to have a IP information. So both are going to connect a cable to a switch device, and the switch device, it is going to connect on both ends between these two servers, and it is going to send the communication between from this server to the switch, and from this it is going to connect establish. What is this communication? It is a packet, network communication. For every communication, it is going to have a communication over the network. Without network, there is no nothing. What is network? How it is network is going to communication? It is going to have the communication over by using IP address. By using IP address. Okay. IP address having two kind of IP addresses. What is it? IP version 4 and IP version 6. Right? This is a IP address system. Without IP address from any place to any place, are you in a position to connect? Okay, the same IP information is required to establish communication between two systems. The two systems are there in a local network or over the different places. If different places, how they are going to communicate? If the different places are there, how they are going to connect? So there the concept is going to come into picture. Private IP address and public IP address. Private IP address. Private network means whatever the IP addresses are going to come into picture as a private IP address range. This is going to take care by network administrator. We no need to bother about that. If you see here in this particular launch, in instances launch, if you see instances, what is instance is available? I can collected, see here. What is this? Public IP version 4 address. What is this private IP address? See the IP address range. The IP address. Am I able to connect this? They both are IP address only. But am I able to connect the same IP address? I'm going to copy this. Am I able to connect? I have the internet connection. Am I able to connect this particular system? IP, same IP address, right? I'm going to click on connect. Why it is not connecting? Private IP address system is belong to certain network range within the network communication. It is not a routable. It is not it cannot be established communication outside certain boundary. That is private IP addresses. Okay. How this private address is going to use the public one. The same instance is going to have the public IP information and private IP information. What is this? Within the network, you are creating 10 instances. Then you are going to create 10 instances. The 10 instances are hosted on the cloud environment or internal communication or internal on-prem location. They are going to communicate with each other. That private IP address means within the certain boundary, they are going to establish communication. As soon as from anywhere I need to connect my system means what I'm going to do, I need to have a public IP information. What is generally in traditional IT environment, IT environment, it is not required for each and every system. This is a traditional location. See here, for example, web server is there. Okay, web server, I need to, that web server information need to share to all the over the world. Everyone, whoever knows about this web server information, website information, they are in a position to access. How this traditional information is going to locate? First, web server and DB server, it is going to establish communication between the internally. They are going to communicate internally, right? Now, as soon as this website is developed, information is available, this website information should be accessible for this particular client, this client and this client and this client. For these clients, for them, it is required only website. They clients doesn't require DB server information. Okay, only website information is more than enough for this particular client. How they are going to access, how they are going to connect, all those things. They are going to establish communication through a firewall, and the firewall is going to connect internet. What is this firewall it is going to do? The firewall, it is going to do filter. What is the filter? As soon as any IP address communication, I told you that IP address communication is going to have, for each and IP address communication, for each and network packet is going to travel based on the application ports. Application ports. For each and every application as per OSI model. What is the OSI model? There are 7 layers. I am not going to go in deep. Just it is very important to understand. You have to go through. Okay. So application ports for HTTP. HTTP, what is the port number? It is 80 port number. HTTP, yes, it is 443. Now I am able to connect RDP. Means what is the RDP? RDP port number. What is the RDP? 3389. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can Google it and understand what are the port numbers is. Only during that particular port, for each and IP address, it is going to establish communication. For each and every communication, it is going to have that application port information. Okay. So this is the application. That's the reason in particular creation of this particular instance, we created a security group. That security group, we allowed only RDP. Who is going to declare, who is going to protect our environment? This particular server, only web server information need to connect by TCP client, this client. That means website HTTPS, only in this particular firewall, it is going to allow the firewall, it is going to allow only 443 port number. It is not going to allow any other. It is going to allow only 443 port number. That is secured HTTP communication. If this client requires RDP, they need to configure this web server. They need to log into the server remotely and configure that web server. Then what port they need to enable? On this firewall, they need to enable RDP port number. This is a firewall device. It is going to establish and it is going to connect that particular firewall device to this particular internet. It is going to connect firewall, and each internet site, it is going to connect each and every one. It is going to connect respect to internet site by through Google, whatever it may be, whatever the ISP you are going to get, you are going to get the ISP provided and all those things, right? Sorry. So one system, they are user and they need to access this website information. What port it is allowed? Only 443. That means the network communication in such a way that it is going to allow only 443 application port and through this public network. Okay. So what is this public network and private network? Private network, we need to understand private network. It is only allowed to communicate within internal systems. The private IP address range is there. We need to understand what is IP address range. There are 4 classes available IP addresses. Okay. IP addresses classes. Okay. Class A, class B. Okay. These are the different ranges. Within that different range, there are private IP network range and public IP address range. Okay. So all internet your home is going to have a router. Your home is going to have a router. What that is going to do? If you open your laptop, and I'm going to open my laptop and I'm going to showcase IP config. I'm just going to do IP config. What is my IP address? It is whatever the IP address. See here, you are able to see my IP address is 192.168.29. What is this? This is a private IP address. But how I'm going to access internet? How I'm going to access internet? My router, if I see who is my public key, what is my IP address? See here, this is my IP address, is public IP address. What is this IP address? This is the IP version 6 address. IP version 6 address. So what is IP? What is a public IP? What is a private IP? Now the internet, what is a cloud computing? Before understanding the cloud computing, we need to understand what is the network, how the network communication is going to happen. Okay, the network communication is going to divide into two parts, that is public network and private network. Whatever the internet is, you are in a position to access, every internet is going to provide through ISP. You are going to get a Reliance ISP or different ISP providers, internet service provider ISP, internet service provider, they are going to have public IP. As soon as your router is going to connect ISP, and ISP it is going to assign the public IP. Public IP in the sense you are landing in a router public IP, and it is going to have communicating with private IP. Whatever the packet communication, whatever the communication is going to happen between this public IP and private IP. What is the router? Router is nothing but it is a establishing communication between two networks. Now router in your home, the router is there. The router, what it is going to do? It is going to perform two actions. It is going to establish communication from, it is going to give the information between establishing communication between two networks. What it is going to do? This is going to have NAT, network address translation. Network address translation. You need to understand this simple basic thing. Even if you are not in a position to understand, doesn't matter. You just click on instance, you are able to connect and you are able to perform your day-to-day operations. That's more than enough. Why we need to understand certain basic things for troubleshooting, how we are going to happen. This private IP address is there, what it is going to do, how this public IP address. As soon as I'm able to connect this public IP, my packet is going to travel between this public IP to the private IP configuration through a router at the Amazon. How it is going to happen in the network concepts, it is going to, we are going to understand. It is going to have two concepts, and that is NAT or PAT. Two options will be there, NAT versus PAT. Port address translation. What is a port address translation? Network address translation. IP address translation. From IP address translation in the sense, from public IP to private IP translation. Whatever the traffic it is going to land on this private IP, it is going to transfer to the public IP interface. Okay, this is communication is going to happen, how the network communication is going to happen between the two IP addresses. Okay, now what is a cloud computing? What is a cloud? Cloud is nothing but a simple thing. In this particular picture, if you are in place inside of this particular boundary, you are inside of this particular boundary. Okay, you are sitting in your office and you are accessing the same system is available within this boundary. Okay, just a moment, I'm going to clear this drawing and then put one more figure here in this particular picture. Just a moment. Okay, now by looking at this picture, if I want to connect this particular web server, do I need to go internet? No need to go. If that particular system is accessible within the boundary of the local area network within our office, that is, you are in a position to private. That means on-prem. That location, that traditional, if you are going to office and you are connecting to your server, that means it is on-prem. How you are connecting from home, your same office network, how you are going to connect from home? You are using internet connection. As soon as internet connection is available, you are connecting to office network through VPN. What is that? VPN. That means what we are going to use, you are using internet, that you are accessing the server to this particular network through internet. That is, you are accessing on-prem location, you are connecting to office. Now what is a cloud? Cloud is nothing but it is going to use the internet service and connecting the whatever the service provider is going to provide instead of on-prem. On-prem in the sense The servers and services are available in a specific data center organization. Any organization which are going to establish a location web server or DB server, if whatever the service you are going to connect within some organization, that means on-prem, we are going to say that on-premises. How we are going to connect on-premises? If within our system, office is there, you are able to access that system. How you are going to connect the same setup from home? You are going to connect internet, and once internet connect is connected, then you are accessing your office environment through internet. Now, this entire setup, I told you this is the entire setup is there on your organization. Some building is there, some place is there. They are using, they are placing the servers, infrastructure, IT infrastructure, and everything. Now the same information, if they are going to deploy, they are going to use in a cloud. What is a cloud? That is where if you are accessing the services, the same services over the internet, over provider, service provider, that is cloud computing. Okay. The services are accessible over the internet. Simply, you don't need to bother about any organization, any place, or any data center. Imagine if you want to manage an on-prem, for example, an organization is newly coming up. That organization need to develop a business and they need to sell the products. But to sell that products, first they need to establish an computer IT infrastructure. They need to develop the application. To develop the application, they need a servers, systems, and all those things. To set up that systems and to set up that place, and they need a space, that is, we are going to call it as a building. That building is nothing but a data center. The data center will be installed number of servers, and we are going to invest a lot of money to create number of systems. And once systems are ready, we are going to install number of operating systems, either Linux or Microsoft or different flavors, SUSE or whatever it may be. Once operating system is installed, is it operating system is only enough? After operating system installation completed, we are going to install application. Application installation. Once application is installation done, then the website will be ready to provide to the users, end users. Who is end users? These are the end users. They are going to connect internet to this particular office network. They are going to access this web server. To get one single web page information, that organization has to deploy this entire setup. That means it is not only systems, they need to deploy power consumption, they need to procure AC, provide AC, and they need to provide staff to manage the servers. Now, the organization is looking for only web server, website information. That organization just provide the information, the data, what need to publish in the website. The data has to give to the cloud provider. That's it. They no need to bother about DB server. They need not to bother about storage. They need to bother about app server. Just they need to provide the data to a cloud provider. That cloud provider put that information in cloud portal. That's it. By using a special service. Whatever the services are available in cloud portal, we are going to use pay as you go. That's it. We are going to use whatever the users, every user is going to access the internet and able to access the same service over the internet. The cloud computing is nothing but the services are available over the internet. Just opening the browser, I'm using this drawing. What is the drawing I'm using right now? It is Smart Draw. See here, Smart Draw is a portal. It's a cloud portal, cloud website wherein I'm using this diagram. Am I using this diagram application in my system? What is my system application? Is MS Paint is there. MS Paint is installed on my system. That means I need to install MS Office. To get that MS Office, what I need to do? I need to install Office Windows operating system. On top of it, it is going to come into picture. If I need a dedicated application, I need to use drawing applications, install on my system. Then only I can draw. But did I install this drawing pictures? Did I get? Where I'm getting? From the cloud. Where this is hosted? On the internet. How I'm accessing this internet? Simply by using the service of this drawing application I'm using over the internet. Cloud computing is so simple to understand that whatever the service you are looking for, it is available on the cloud. Any doubt on this? What is cloud computing?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, what is this different types of cloud? I'm going to come back to that agenda. We understood what is a cloud, private and public IP basic network concept, that is NAT and process part. What is cloud? Cloud basic concept. What is a cloud basic concept? What types of cloud? We understood what is cloud. Now, cloud basic types is nothing but PaaS, IaaS, SaaS, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, software as a service. For better understanding, I provided one link. I'm going to open that link, and that link information is already available in this particular notepad. And even I'm going to provide that link in this. You can search for better understanding how I'm going to provide this information to you. That is only matters, right? So where is this? See here. This is in basically these three concepts. What is that? See, in traditional IT, what it is going to do? In traditional IT, hope you are able to see clear. Okay, good. See, traditional IT means that is on-prem. In on-prem, these are the entire structure, that IT infrastructure to get a specific application to access the end user. I need to maintain networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, all those things under traditional IT, that is on-prem location. Now, what is the infrastructure as a service? IaaS. So in this particular structure, this entire infrastructure, they are going to manage only this component as a IaaS, remaining part end user. For example, I'm planning to install a middleware application, and in developing an application, then I am going to choose infrastructure as a service. Then that is comes under EC2. That EC2 deployed, the Windows server is ready. On that Windows server, it is my responsibility what application I'm going to install. I can configure, I can use. Okay. Whereas in platform as a service, what is a platform as a service? I'm going to application, no need to install application. That operating system, that hardware and application also they are going to take care, like just like DB. The DB is there, just we need to, once DB is available, I'm going to consider the DB and a platform as a service. No need to maintain anything. Just I need the DB application is going to come as a service. Just open the browser. I'm going to go to the portal and open that public IP information. Just like RDP, how did I connect? The same way RDP I connected with IP information, that is public IP information. So DB, for example, database server is there. How we are going to access that DB server? We are going to provide DB server host name information in each and every application, whatever the application is looking for database connection. Okay. In the DB, we are going to configure, that is comes under platform as a service. Now, software as a service directly, no need to worry about what is the configuration, what is the license, and all those things. Directly in a browser, just like Smart Draw. For example, typical the diagram application, if I want to install, there are different applications are available. If I want to install my laptop, I need to purchase a license. Like a Smart Draw is there, Cloud, Adobe Photoshoot is there. Adobe Photoshoot, you imagine what is the cost. Generally, photographers or video makers, what is they going to do? They are going to use image application. To use on that image application on my system, I need to have that system should be have minimum certain configuration. And after which I need to purchase an operating system license. On top of it, I need to purchase that Adobe Photoshop application. That is again licensing cost will be there. I need to install to work my video editing or photograph editing. I don't bother about all these things. I have a mobile, I have a simple laptop, opening the browser. I am going to use Adobe Photoshop as a service. That's it. Whatever whenever I'm going to open Adobe Photoshop application as a service, that is what. No need to bother about any of this application licensing, hardware, configuration, all those things. Least bother. So everything is provided by cloud as a service. That is what application is going to use directly by using open browser. That's what I did now, the smart draw application, right? That smart draw application, what I am using right now in this diagram, this is nothing but this is a Photoshop. Whatever the images, I need to get some application. But how I'm able to get without any purchase or anything, I'm able to use. This is because of cloud. Okay, so coming back to this topics, that is the basic cloud models, all services, whatever the services, we are going to talk about EC2. EC2 comes under what service? Okay, like that RDS, different services we defined, important services we are going to discuss about. All those services, not only those important services, whatever the service it is going to available, it is available under Amazon Management Console. All those services, one of the service will come and land under this particular category. Either it is comes under software as a service category, or platform as a service category, or infrastructure as a service category. Whatever the service you talk about. This is a 3 basic model service models in a cloud infrastructure. Okay. Now, what are cloud vendors? Cloud vendors, different cloud vendors are available. Cloud providers, cloud vendors, it is not good. Cloud providers. What are the cloud providers? Now we are learning about AWS, and the Azure is there. Oracle Cloud, VMware Cloud, IBM Cloud, different cloud providers are there. Which is the best? Which is the best? You are purchasing a mobile device. You can get a mobile device for 5,000. You are going to get a mobile device for 10,000. You are going to get a 1 lakh rupee mobile also. What you are looking for? Why you are going for Apple Mac? Because the features. If you are looking for certain features, you need to choose a provider which is going to provide that feature. Okay. If you are expecting some high-end feature and buying an Android mobile, you are not in a position to get that feature. That's the reason where that my application, what is my requirement? According to user requirement only, I'm going with how many users, what is the solution they are going to provide, how they are going to provide. Based on this, they are going to choose AWS, Azure, Oracle, or VMware, IBM, different cloud providers are there. It is all depends upon what features they are going to provide and what is the features, how they are going to define. That is comes under availability, scalability, pay as you go model. These cloud providers, what are the features, what are the services, these 3 services they are going to provide. That these 3 services are going to define based on this availability, scalability, pay as you go. Sorry. Any doubt on this until this point?
No, sir. Everything good.
Okay. Now, what is availability? For example, traditional IT infrastructure, I am going to deploy this network diagram. This is my site, my office as a web server, DB server, and storage and network setups and all those things. For example, there is a flood. There is a flood or there is a power outage. or building collapse, whatever it may be. What will happen, my application, what about my business, what about my data, everything goes for task. That's there, the cloud, it is going to provide the availability. Whatever the instance you are created, whatever the service you are going to opt for this particular, how they are going to provide availability. What is availability? Availability is nothing but from any place, anywhere, you should in a position to access that application round the clock. Okay. How this AWS is going to work, availability, it is going to provide this global infrastructure. How these zones are going to create availability, regions. This is typical, see here, 31 reasons. What is reasons? Reason is nothing but that service that provider Amazon website has a data center in that specific country. That is 31 regions they have the presence, data centers. What is availability zones? For each country, it is going to have 2 or more zones, that isolated availability zones. As soon as you create any application or any service you choose, that it is going to replicate between 2 zones by default with a different isolated zone. Even one thing is down, other is going to get into picture, and make sure whatever the instance you are going to create, that is not going to get interrupt. That is available to see what my instance, where my instance is available currently. My instance is available. If I go to EC2 dashboard, see here, what is my instance, where it is located, my region, it is Asia Pacific Sydney. My instance, whatever the instance pre-tier account it is created, that is located in my Asia Pacific region Sydney. Okay, and it is going to have this availability zones. Even one zone is down also, this particular zone is down also, this instance is replicated to the available zone. That's where this availability comes in picture. At any given point of time, my service is available round the clock. That is availability. To maintain that availability in a real time, in a traditional IT infrastructure, how difficult it is. Okay, how difficult it is. It is going to get this particular diagram, whatever the servers, even 2 servers, I need to replicate in a different location. That is comes under disaster recovery. Because my business should not impact without any floods, without any disaster and anything. My application should up and running. How it is possible? By looking at this infrastructure location. See here, this presence is available in this AWS have 31 countries. Whatever the green dots you are able to see here, how many availability zones are there? That means 3 data centers are available in this Europe. Whereas in India, if you come to here, Hyderabad has a 3 availability zones, and Mumbai, it has a 3 availability zones. For each and every country, whatever the countries in green dots are there, 31 countries, the presence is there to serve the customers worldwide. Whatever the IT infrastructure you are looking for, it is capable enough to provide the service. It is only matters what service you are going to choose, how you are going to choose. Okay. So this red dot, it is coming soon. That means they are going to coming soon on this respective location with a new reason. Okay. What are the green dots are there? It is reasons. The green dots and red ones, reasons in the country presence, and the respective country, the presence are there. Reasons. Those many reasons are available. Each region, it is going to have availability zones, each region. Okay. This is a global footprint of Amazon Web Services to provide the services around the clock. As soon as you create any service, it is going to choose that availability zone nearest to your provider, nearest to the user. And now I'm going to connect from Bangalore. From the Bangalore, as soon as I deployed, I'm going to launch this EC2 instance. It is going to connect my nearest zone. That is, this is Sydney. See here, these many zones are available. Currently, my instance, my login, my account is connected. My EC2 application is running on Asia Pacific. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. Okay. Just whatever the instance I'm going to create, this is very much important whenever you are going to create an instance. Okay, once your practice is done, as soon as the practice is done, you are go and see here, I selected the instance. What I need to do, go to click on actions, terminate my instance. Okay, whatever the instance is there, I need to terminate the instance. See here, terminate instance, not stop instance. Terminate instance, what is the difference between stop instance? Because stop instance, it is not going to run, you are not going to get information, but stop instance, it is going to consume your storage, your information, some information is there. In dashboard, if you see, it is not only instance. If it is not only instance, it is going to use services, volume, storage, it is going to use. It is going to use key pair, it is going to use security service. All those things are related to only one instance. You may think that I did a stop, I'm not going to get bill. So as soon as your practice is done, what you need to do, you can create number of instances. So what you need to do, you need to go and terminate. As soon as you terminate, you are in a position to save your time hours. So what I'm going to do, as the session is completed, or your practice is completed, what you need to do, you come under instance stage, terminate instance. This terminate instance, it is going to delete and it is not going to charge anything. Okay, and whatever the hours are there for your month, 750 hours, it is going to use, for example, the session is terminated. That is the error, because the session is using that season, it is going to consume. So as soon as terminate session is done, it is going to shutting down and then terminate session and come back to the dashboard. Whatever things are there, as soon as instance is terminated, my volume is going to clear. Okay, now what else I need to delete? I need to delete key pair. The key pair, whatever the information is available, delete. You can delete and you can create whenever it is required again. Okay, see the key pair, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete key pair and then to type delete, because this is important to stop the billing and whatever the free tier hours is available. It is most important thing is that once practice is done, you delete that. Okay, whatever things are there, please go and delete that. Make sure nothing is reflecting in our section. Security group also, by default security group is there, we cannot delete that default security group. I'm going to use that. This security group is created as part of my instance. I'm going to delete this instance as well. Okay, so this is the way you have to delete whatever things are there, you need to delete that particular. Okay, clear? Any doubt why to delete? Because whatever the free tier hours, 750 hours, or whatever the storage, whatever the different things are there, we are not sure, and you are not sure what is it is going to get bill generation. Whatever the account it is there, it is going to use, and you are in a position to create the service as per your requirement. Once the practice is done, you are able to understand the practice and able to connect and do the modification, whatever the modification. Once your practice is done, go and terminate that particular instance or a particular service. As soon as we go forward, we are going to understand each and every service. We need to create a service to understand specific service. Once that understanding is done, go ahead and delete. Again, you can create, but don't leave this instance without deleting. If you forget, for example, you are closing the session, I'm going to close this session, I'm going to shut down my laptop, but background, this instance will keep on running in the background. My free tier hours will be exhausted. Okay, so please don't forget these steps. Once your practice is done, it is very important to clear out all those things. See here, instance is 0, key pair is 0, security group is become, see, security group, this is the default security group to log into this end. Volume is 0, nothing is there, instant is 0. This instance is going go away after some time, no issue. My important thing is that this instance should be 0 and key pairs and values. If all the things 0, there is no bill. this default security group, one is there, that is default, no need to worry about. As soon as your account gets created, the default security group gets created. No need to worry about that. Any doubt? Any clarification?
No, sir. It's good.
No, sir. It's fine.
Sir,
Yes, please.
when you upload the file explorer, can we do 2 or 3 times that, like upload in your computer in file explorer, save the file explorer,
What
the
is that?
instance?
You mean to say that? I didn't get you. Repeat again. Exploring to what?
No, you saved instance under in your computer file explorer, right?
Not instance. I saved a key pair. I
Key
saved the
pair,
key pair. This is for password generation. What I saved, this particular PEM file only, I downloaded to my local system. Nothing else. Why I downloaded
Okay.
this PEM file? To generate the password.
Okay, generate the password. Can we do it twice, that one?
Yeah, you can do. You can download the key pair. You, as soon as the
Okay.
instance is created, you are going to create a key pair. And once you key pair, for example, you forget the key pair or this gets deleted. If you go to this Amazon management console, the key pair option, as soon as you click on key pair, you are going to get a download option key pair here. Whatever the key pair, you select download here. No issues. You can number of
No
times.
issue.
What is this key pair purpose? To connect that instance, you need to have a password. To generate the password, the key pair has to attach. Then only the password can be retrieved.
Then every instance we have to do that? Do we have to do
Once
that?
you are going to use the same key pair, once the password is available, you no need to go each and every time. The same password will be there. See what I did? As soon as this Windows server deployed, I created a batch 166 user one. Did I use a key pair? I never used key pair. I created my own user. Only I connected to the server, I am able to log in. So once key pair is ready and you have the password, you can use the same password. If you are not speaking, please go on mute. Okay. Any other
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other queries? So this is a final session, pre-session to attend. From next session onwards, is whoever registered, whoever making the payment, they are going to get a separate Zoom link. So please if you are happy with the spanning modules, please register and continue learning these modules. Wish you happy learning. If no other queries, we are good to close this session. Before closing, any queries, any doubts?
All good, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks for all your participation. Happy learning. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks, Rini.
Bye-bye.
Bye.